You know, Venus is exalted in Pisces. Venus is exalted in Pisces. Now, attractive females of our society, yeah, that's Venus. Since Neptune entered Pisces, that's when the internet exploded. And when the internet exploded, who gets exalted through that? Yeah, you guessed it. Attractive females. You blend that with the rise of feminism, and you have the perfect catalyst for females who once were deprived of freedom, not allowed to explore themselves or know who they are. It's the perfect catalyst for them to come to self-realization through self-discovery. And this matched the transit of Pluto through Sagittarius, which then rose to Pluto through Capricorn. The boss bitch, the corporate woman, the career ambitious woman, the one who's willing to sell her family, destroy her marriage, murder a newborn fetus for the status that she can enjoy in a career. The two phases of Pluto through Sagittarius and Capricorn, these were two functions of the power dynamics of females that catalyzed her now downloaded wisdom of herself that has to lead to a healing in herself through the realizations that wisdom can afford her, which arrives at what? Understanding. Understanding is superior. It is the best part. Understanding. This goes consistent with Aquarius Pluto. Anything that deals with Aquarius, it has to be free, but actually free. And how does she set herself free? The truth sets her free. Aquarius, the pouring of the water gourd. What is the truth, woman? Look behind you. Look behind you. What is the truth? Not regurgitation of facts and data and statistics. What's the truth of what you learned? From every decade since Pluto entered Sagittarius, from every decade that Pluto went through Capricorn, from the time period of Neptune through Pisces, what did you learn about yourself as a woman? Do you have discernment now between what is good for you and what is not? What is harm and what is benefit? What's in your best interest and what is not? You have tested all theories of freedom, all theories of liberation. You have achieved it. But what could have been learned is that without accountability and moral commitment, you will exploit yourself with that same liberty. Oppress yourself with that same liberty. Destroy yourself with that same liberty. We're coming full circle. A new woman is being birthed, A new woman is being resurrected. And she now will understand what to do with her freedom, how to keep her freedom, how to preserve her freedom, how to maintain her integrity, honor, chastity, mystery, purity, authority, power, and individualism without selling her soul. She experienced enough to know now better. Now that that catalyst has served its purpose, it's discarded, it's being burned, it's being purged away. That catalyst, it's not there anymore. The black marker of Donald Trump, it got rid of it. It got rid of it. She doesn't have access to anything to distract herself with anymore. She doesn't have a route to run away and escape anymore from herself. She doesn't have options to put on illusions of the status, competition, independence, the arrogance and the narcissism, being wealthy and rich, glamour this and glamour that, a spendthrift, great consumers, self-sabotage through debt. She doesn't have access anymore. Throughout the whole nation, credit cards are maxed out. Debts are above the nostrils in the water. Cars are ready to be repossessed. Eviction notices are on the door. No more access to food stamps. Section 8, welfare state, handouts, gimme, give me privilege, I'm a girl, I'm a woman, give me privilege. Give me access. Affirmative action, gone. DEI, gone. Women's rights is gone as a privilege. And the current administration is working on taking what's left of it, even reversing her right to vote, even reversing her right to have access to fair credit practices. Am I lying? Stop me when I'm lying. What is this really about? It's a healing. The lesson was learned. Feminism and liberalism was a catalyst for her understanding of what to do with freedom and autonomy, how to respect it. And you learn through trial and error. You learn through experience. That was Pluto Sagittarius. And then you had to learn who you are when ambition enters freedom. Pluto Capricorn. When competition enters freedom. When greed enters freedom. When ruthlessness enters freedom. You had to learn who you become. What did you sell for it? Who did you kill for it? The death toll of abortions equals that of genocide in America. It is just another genocide, all for the pride and the selfish ideals of career competition and status. What did we learn? What have women learned about what we passed through? And what does freedom mean now? What does freedom look like now? What is freedom supposed to be about now? What is security now? What is happiness now? What does value mean now? She has no choice but to study this. She has no choice but to review. She has no choice but to heal it. She no longer can pretend to be what she's not. The winner is going to take everything that's left. And there's no choice but to find your place in the community as a cooperative participant in the community ideal and infrastructure. And this is when the lesson seals. Because you can only enter that reality through reconciliation, forgiveness, and atonement, through healing, through confession. It's the only route back to the clan. I'm starting this week out with burdens in these messages. I'm starting this week out with inconvenience in these messages. These are the things that we have to absorb, reflect on, take ownership of, show up to, and find the resilience and bravery to align with as truths that we discover in the heart. These events are not happening for no reason in the way that they are. It is unique, strategic, wise. But are we paying attention? Are we paying attention? Women are being healed intentionally and deliberately by the forces of this universe. There's a healing taking place. It's a purification and purging. Food stamps being cut off ain't about starvation. The American woman is 200 pounds plus. She's twice the weight of her male counterpart. She's obese. Diabetes, high blood pressure, and some fucked up kneecaps and ankles. And the kids is sick right along with her. Food addiction is no different than drug addiction. Pisces is about addiction. And we're being saved from our addictions. Nobody can hide behind addictions during this phase. And food is just another escape and addiction that we're hurting ourselves with, hiding away in. One meal a day is sufficient. For the one who's not doing physical working activity, one meal every other day is sufficient. I've done it since I was 14 years old. And I'm a big motherfucker. What's your excuse? I'm a construction worker. On my days off, eating 3 meals is unheard of. That's crazy. There's no justification for that. This is offering you back your health. It's offering you back your dignity. It's creating circumstance by which you can pull into and lean into the family order, infrastructure, intention, design, aim, and opportunity. Jupiter that is expanding Cancer. Because ultimately what women of America were taught was to run away from the 4th house, alienate from the 4th house, vilify the 4th house, talk against the 4th house, accuse the 4th house, speak badly about the 4th house, and fill her heart with envy for the post and destiny of man. Jealousy for what man is here to do and who man is here to be. But she left her own post undiscovered. She left her own post as something that she refused to study and find the value and extract the value and wisdom out of. She refused to. Forcing herself into the plains of man. Meanwhile, her post is vacant. She should put clothes on and find out who she is. She should cover up and define what woman is. She should cover her body and come to know what is the wisdom of woman. What is the meaning of woman? Who and what is woman? What does it mean to be woman? What is our role? What is our place? And what we contribute to society. What did God intend in creating us? What is our power and our natural right? What is our role? Man already found his. Man already learned his. Man already does his. And you're jealous of man. And instead of discovering what it means for woman, you all up in the world of man competing in full out envy to be like him, to do as he does, to be as he is. But you got your own motherfucking post to figure out. So bitch, put some clothes on and find out what that motherfucker is meant to be. And stay the fuck out of men's spaces. Stay out of our nose. Don't envy us because you have no reason to envy us. Don't be jealous of us because you have no reason to be jealous of us. Where is your pride in womanhood? Where is your pride in what it means to be woman? Where is it? You've already shown pride in prostitution, sex work, objectification of the self. You've already shown pride in who you are in the role of the nature of man. You've already shown pride in education, degrees, business, money, status, materials, sex. But did you ever stop to think that somebody has to decode the mystery of woman and clarify it so that it can be taught to those women who are coming behind you? Who's responsible for that? We are Americans, and you of your country, whatever you may be, Irish, Jamaican, Australian, Japanese, our nation rises no higher than its women. And we can't rise high as long as women are under the spell of envy for the role and post of men. Who are you as women? Take pride in it. Here in the West, women are taught to take pleasure, ambition, and personalized ideals in their own subjugation to being objectified as sex objects, as slaves, as someone convenient to oppress. And because of how America has a long tradition of concentrating pure ignorance, because of its arrogance, you can't get to the truth to set yourself free. Women can't get to the truth to set themselves free. I'm amazed at how the lifestyles and choices that women in this country are taught to make, how they take pleasure and joy in the exploitation of themselves. Spoiling all that is sacred about themselves. Leaving no mystery of what is private, exclusive, and sacred in their being, in their body, in the house. She willingly exposes her privates without question, without force. She's taught to think this way, and we're conditioned to accept it as being normal. We're conditioned to accept the idea that this is part of the expression of freedom and liberation, while in fact it is self-entrapment, self-oppression. It is to strip the self of moral grade and caliber. What is a woman without her mystery? What is a woman that is disassociated from all that makes her sacred? She does not take value in her womb. It is for any perfect stranger who she feels an attraction to. Any perfect stranger who she can make a transactional situation with. It is not sacred here in the West. Who taught her to be like that? Who taught her to do it? Who taught her to insist that she put herself in harm's way? Praising, worshiping, condoning, and defending the idea that she should live her entire life as a single woman raising children by herself. But to shift the blame of that over to the male counterpart, enabling her to shift herself out of accountability, which is one of the means of protecting and preserving her freedom, her dignity, her self-respect, her character, and the trust that should be between her and others. She's trained not to own it. She's taught to be promiscuous, sleep around, test the waters, have fun, you're young, live your life. But it hardly ever goes that way. She accumulates trauma, pain, regret, misery, burden, shame, an overwhelm of burdens, duties, and responsibilities, consequences, casualties, and the karmic debt that comes with it. We've lost our wisdom. We lack wisdom. We can't see what entrapment is. We don't know what freedom really is. We've been alienated and disconnected from the moral principle, the moral commitment. All is futile without the moral foundation, because it is the foundation of meaning in life. It is the justification of our existence. Who taught her that her virginity has no value? Who taught her that? Why is it always women who gave theirs away, who ruined themselves, who corrupted themselves, who reach back to corrupt the next pure one who's coming up in the ranks? Instead of protecting her and saying, hey, this ain't the way to go. Misery loves company. And the hatred of women for other women, the hatred of women within the sisterhoods that claim such loyalties is much louder. It's much louder than the claims that they make of being so unified. Who hates women more than women themselves? It's an act of hate to fail to protect your sister by encouraging her to exploit herself while you know that it is manifesting harm and regret. The hypocrisy of the land that we are from, the hypocrisy of the country that we are raised in. The cross, the claim of Jesus Christ, Christ is Lord, Christianity, go to church, seek the Bible, but nobody seems to live by such. Nobody seems to ever make the effort to be an example of such. It is mysterious. It's the convenient religion. It's the convenient way, because all you have to do is speak it but not be it. Say it but don't do it or manifest it. Claim it but make no demonstration of what you have claimed. It is the convenient religion. It requires no intellect, no intelligence, no wisdom, no insight, no understanding, just association. How do they make propaganda against Islam, against Muslims? A religion that protects women, that fights for the dignity of women, that preserves the mystery of women, that holds men accountable for their character with women. who these filthy rich oligarchs and monarchs would wish for you to hate or fear. The opposite should be considered, because surely it's in their favor that you should hate who they want you to hate and love who they want you to love. It is in their favor. It is to their advantage. If women of America had understanding, if they had self-respect, if they had morals, if they had dignity, if they had honor for themselves, if they preserved their chastity and their mystery, it wouldn't do well for capitalism. It wouldn't do well for the corporate state. It wouldn't do well for the divorce courts. It wouldn't do well for family court. It wouldn't do well for the pockets of lawyers. It wouldn't do well for the predators as principalities in high places. Self-hate, self-undoing, self-sabotage. These are 12th house themes. And these 12th house themes, subconsciously, we manifest an expression of what we believe of ourselves. And what we could find is we may believe that we don't deserve something in particular in life. I don't deserve money, so when I get it, I blow it. I don't deserve love, so when it manifests, I push it away, I reject it. I don't deserve to have compassion upon me, empathy upon me, affection upon me, care or concern. So when it manifests, I find a way to get out of it, to self-sabotage and escape the reception or the receptivity of such mercies. I don't believe that I deserve health, so I lean into gluttony and justify and protect my addictions to food. I don't believe that I deserve to be dignified, to have self-esteem or respect in the walk of my life, so I expose myself to indignation and justify it as, oh, I'm just having a good time. It is very clear that females of America are loudly expressing exactly what they feel they are not deserving of. Love, security, respect, dignity, a status of chastity and modesty, purity, family, man, woman, and child, legacy, community security, a trustworthy husband. They do not feel that they deserve to have these things, because if they did, their decisions would reflect exactly that. But it does not reflect that. Their dating habits, sexual marketplace selection, choices of men, it all points at self-hatred and self-denial of such mercies and status in life. Why is that? Who taught them? Who conditioned them to be this way? Who insists on this mindset in them? Who insists in this character in the Western woman? Who decided that she should exploit herself, undo herself, entrap herself, burden herself, trouble herself, degrade herself, disrespect herself, void herself of purity and trust. Who taught her this? Where did it come from? It is sweeping through our country. It came like a thief in the night with extremes of feminism and liberalism. Cancer Jupiter transit is opportunity for all of this to be restored. It is the South Node at Virgo that is undoing the false caricatures that she stands in, as she pretends to put on what is artificial, expressing what is artificial, striving for what is artificial in order to feel valuable through artificial means. She is blocked from it. No longer can she go that route. The number 9 Hermit card vibration at the South Node Virgo is working against the detriment of Venus. She has no choice but to see herself as she really is. Where does my value come from as a woman? Where does my self-esteem come from as a woman? What makes me desirable and what makes me lovable? It is not what corporate America suggested. It is not what the Khazarian entertainment industry has manufactured. America has prostituted its women. America has pimped its women. And the abuse is so deep, so concentrated, that she convinced herself that she loves it. She convinced herself that she likes it. She convinced herself that it's her freedom and liberation, just like a whore who walks the track and defends her pimp. Every dime she gets, she makes sure that pimp has his cut. And if you speak against that pimp, if you speak against what she's doing with her body, with her time, with her energy, you got hell on your hands, because she's going to fight you. That is an abused woman. The abused woman, she defends her own abuse. Who cannot see this? Meanwhile, she goes to church and it don't change it. She claims to be Christian and it doesn't change it. She just hides it. We all know how that story goes. The fakeness. Who is gaining and benefiting from her status as a prostitute, as a whore? Who's cashing in on it? Who's the pimp of the women of our society? Who's the pimp? Who benefits? Who cashes in on her status? The same pimp who cashes in on her status He wants to make sure that the subjects of his society has fear in their heart for the very places where she can find redemption for what she gave away to this very pimp. Al-Islam, I am witness. I am witness. Islam has redemption for woman, security for woman, purity for woman, guidance for woman, structure for woman, order for woman, protection and security for woman. And standards held high for the men who would seek them out. No one's end destination needs to be religion. Just like no one's end destination is to keep the personal trainer who you're paying. Eventually, you should learn how to train yourself. But you have to start somewhere. Put your personal trainer on payroll until you can learn how to train yourself. It's worth it. It's an investment into your health. It's an investment into your status. It's an investment into your self-esteem. It's an investment into a long life. So likewise is religion. Islam is my foundation. It's my beginning. It's what formed me. It's what gave me foundation. It's what prepared me to receive a spiritual walk, a spiritual life. A walk in a life in which I do not dissociate my spiritual reality from Saturn or Pluto. I incorporate, I embrace, I accept that there's work involved. There's discipline. Character is what you lead with. Our women of America are suffering, and they're suffering from self-infliction. And that self-infliction is because of the brainwashing of our women. I'm not mentioning the only solution, but I am mentioning what can make you aware of the fact that we all could possibly have greater solutions if we care to be honest enough about where we are with our women, our sisters, our daughters, and these days, even our mothers who are competing with the daughters. Where are we going without our women? Al-Hajj Malik Shabazz once said, "No nation rises higher than its woman." Nothing could be more true. We are only going as far as the status of our women, the caliber of our women, the grade of our women, and feminism has misinformed women about their value. It is not based on how many degrees you have, how much sexual attention that you can command, how much enticement that you can generate, how much money you have, independence, being a boss, entrepreneur. I became a firefighter and I ran up a flight of stairs with a body on my back. Your value is not in your lust to compete with men, your envy of men, your jealousy of men. Your value's not in that. Your value's not in conquering the 10th house and these subconscious means of proving to yourself that you have value through someone else's destiny. Man has his destiny. And woman has her destiny. And you will not find your value. You will not find the meaning of yourself. Destiny swapping. You will find it in the claim of yourself. And the curiosity that leads you to decode the mystery of what it means to be a woman. In the West, here in America, she is ignorant of what that could mean. She does not know. And she cannot demonstrate. She's lost. And there are solutions. It doesn't have to be that way. All hope is not lost. But we can't get anywhere if we can't get to the embrace of the truth. The truth sets you free, not delusion. American woman, set yourself free. Refuse to be brainwashed. Come out of feminism. You fought for freedom. You fought for liberation. You fought for every right that you get to enjoy today, as you should. You shouldn't even have had to fight for it. But thus it is with white Christian nationalism. It is misogynistic. It is patriarchal. And it does suppress women. And it's rearing its head all over again. The Civil Rights Act of 1964, packaged within that burrito, is women's rights. The right to vote. Well, let me be accurate. Right to vote came first. The right to credit options and opportunities for women. Let me specify. These things are being threatened. These things could stand to be removed by the current administration. Those who have held the legacy of this country, managed this country, directed this country, and formed its infrastructure, white Christian nationalist males, they do not respect women. They do not see women as equals. That's not the legacy. Women are property, just like niggers was property to them. And they feel entitled to make cattle of whoever they want to. They feel entitled to take rights from whoever is inalienable with their rights if it threatens their sense of security. If it threatens their idea of what they should be entitled to enjoy. That has been the trend of his nature. Can he be redeemed? I don't know, but that's what the trend of his nature has been in this country. He's greedy for power and greedy for control. Very insecure. Easy to scare, easy to intimidate. And he's hypersensitive about what power he gets to exercise in his reach of dominance over those who are different than he is, including his own woman. Anything or anyone that holds an example an alternative, a contradiction or contrast to what he wishes to champion as the proper way or what is fitting for his subjects. He vilifies it. He demonizes it. He sets it on fire. He destroys it. He cannot bear challenge. He cannot be patient with competition. He cannot endure the threat that something or someone could possibly show him up. And he's willing to go the extra mile to secure his entitlement. He doesn't mind to make entire policies, rules, laws, orders to ensure control of anyone who's in position to challenge him or expose him. It's his resume. Women are not on the good side of white Christian nationalism, nor are they on the good side of white Christian national males. You are not on the good side of that. It will not turn out well for you. The very things that they say is bad or evil or not good for you, it could be quite the opposite, including persons. Let's embrace what's being offered to us, especially what's being offered to women, which is a moral restoration of their identity. A moral recollection of their value. An accountability that guarantees the preservation of dignity, security, trust, and respect. Everything about a woman is sacred. Everything. Every hair on her head. We should question the ones who enable and condone the contrary. Question it. Question the idea that the public should have access to what is sacred about you, to what should remain mysterious about you. Why should perfect strangers in the public have such access to you, a sacred being? Why is there nothing left of a mystery in your body, your mind, your personality? Your intimate quarters. There's nothing left for a husband if you chose one. Whatever he sees, everybody else already seen. Whatever you have to offer, you already gave it to everybody else, including children. To perfect strangers, to enemies, to villains. We can't see that abuse has manifest, and she defends the abuse. She justifies the abuse. We can't see it. Women need education in America, and it's not in colleges. It's not for degrees. It's not a bachelor's. It's not for doctorates. It's not for the masters. Women need education in who they are. Women need education about their value. Women need education about their mystery. Women need education in who they are as the oracle of society and community and family, as the conscience of every occasion, as the moonlight in any place of darkness. She needs education. And I'm inserting this thought because your conversation at home could start a revolution in your bloodline, in your community, in your family that you can look back on and claim victory. We have to start somewhere. And it's enough to begin with a thought. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word became flesh. Understand that.